The afternoon sun streamed through the cafe window as Lisa stirred her tea absent-mindedly. Across from her, Rachel beamed, her eyes dancing with joy as she spoke about her 2 little children. "Lisa, you should have seen Ellie yesterday. She tried to bake cookies for the first time and ended up with flour all over her face." Rachel laughed, shaking her head. "And Tom, oh, that boy. He thinks he's a superhero and won't stop jumping off the furniture." Lisa smiled, though deep inside, an ache gnawed at her heart. "They sound adorable," she murmured. "You have such a beautiful family." Rachel reached across the table and squeezed Lisa's hand. "One day, you and Mark will have children too. I just know it." Lisa hesitated before forcing a nod. She once believed that, but life had its own plans. Mark had been distant lately, their once happy marriage now filled with tension, silence, and the weight of unspoken words. It hadn't happened overnight. It was small things at first, the late nights at work, the forgotten anniversaries, the way he stopped reaching for her hand. The laughter that once filled their home had been replaced by quiet sighs and strained conversations over dinner. Lisa had tried to fix it, suggested counseling, planned romantic weekends, anything to bring them back to what they once were. But Mark always had an excuse. "I'm just tired," he'd say, or "work is too stressful right now." But Lisa knew it wasn't just work. There was a wall between them, one that she couldn't seem to break down. One night, after yet another argument that ended in stony silence, she found herself staring at their wedding photo on the mantel. The couple in the picture looked so young, so in love. When had they become strangers? Her fears materialized when, one evening, Mark sat her down at the kitchen table, his expression unreadable. "Lisa, I can't do this anymore," he said, his voice devoid of emotion. "I don't love you the way I used to. I think it's best if we go our separate ways." The words felt like a punch to the gut. Lisa stared at him, hoping, praying he would take it back, that he would fight for them. But his face remained impassive, as if he had already made peace with his decision. Rachel was the first person Lisa called, sobbing uncontrollably. "He's leaving me, Rachel. He says he doesn't love me anymore." "I'm coming over," Rachel said without hesitation. "If you are enjoying this story, please click on the like and subscribe button. Let's continue." And she did. Rachel held her while she cried, listened without judgment, and reminded her that life wasn't over. Through the pain, Rachel remained her constant, even when Lisa felt she had nothing left to give. Their friendship had begun in university, a bond formed over late-night study sessions, laughter-filled coffee breaks, and shared dreams of the future. Rachel, with her easy charm, had fallen in love first. She met Adam in her 3rd year, a quiet but kind-hearted man who adored her. Lisa, ever the skeptic, had taken her time, but when she met Mark, she had been convinced she found her forever too. Their double dates were legendary, adventurous road trips, candlelit dinners, and the promise that no matter what, they would always be there for each other. And when Rachel had her first child, Lisa was right by her side, holding her hand through labor, marveling at the tiny miracle that was Ellie. "Lisa, one day, you'll be here too," Rachel had said, exhausted but glowing with happiness. "And I'll be right there beside you." Lisa had believed it with all her heart. But now, with her marriage in ruins, she felt like she had lost her chance at that dream. Rachel, ever the optimist, never let her sink too deep. "Your story isn't over yet, Lisa. I promise." But what neither of them knew was just how much their friendship would be tested. And how, in the end, it would shape both of their lives forever. Then, one cruel day, life turned the tables. Rachel fell ill. At first, she brushed it off as mere fatigue, blaming it on long days with the kids and stress. "It's probably just the flu," she had told Adam when he expressed concern over her persistent exhaustion. Weeks passed, and the fatigue deepened. Then came the headaches, the unexplained bruises, and the weight loss she couldn't ignore. Still, she resisted seeing a doctor. "I just need more rest," she insisted. But Adam saw through her bravado. One evening, after she nearly collapsed while making dinner, he gently but firmly took her hands. "Rachel, enough. You're seeing a doctor. And I'm coming with you." There was no arguing with him. The next morning, Adam all but marched her into the doctor's office, his worry evident. When Rachel described her symptoms, the doctor's face darkened. "We need to run some tests. Immediately." If you are enjoying this story, please click on the like and subscribe button. Let's continue. Rachel had expected routine blood work and a simple reassurance that she was fine. Instead, she was fast-tracked for extensive tests. The urgency in the doctor's voices terrified her. Adam held her hand through it all, refusing to leave her side. When the results came back, their world shattered. The illness was aggressive, ruthless. Hospital stays became the norm, and suddenly, their lives revolved around treatments, medications, and fleeting moments of hope. Lisa was there for her, just as Rachel had been there for her. "Lisa, I need to ask you something important," Rachel whispered one evening, her voice frail. Lisa leaned in, brushing away the damp curls from Rachel's forehead. "Anything, Rachel. Promise me." Rachel's eyes filled with unshed tears. "Promise me you'll look after my children if I don't make it." Lisa's heart clenched. "Rachel, don't say that. You're going to get better. Just promise me, Lisa. Please." Lisa swallowed hard, fighting back her own tears. "I promise." Rachel exhaled shakily, but then she grasped Lisa's hand tighter. "There's one more thing. I don't want a stranger raising my kids. Lisa, will you marry Adam?" Lisa gasped, pulling back. "Rachel, no. That's absurd. Please. You love them. They love you. And I trust you with my whole heart." Lisa couldn't argue with her. Rachel was weak, clinging to her last hopes. So she nodded, even though she didn't believe it could ever happen. A few weeks later, Rachel was gone. The grief was unbearable. Adam was lost, struggling to care for Ellie and Tom while trying to cope with his own sorrow. Lisa did everything she could, picking the kids up from school, cooking meals, helping with bedtime stories. It became natural. Almost too natural. One evening, as she tucked Tom into bed, he looked up at her with innocent eyes. "Aunt Lisa, why don't you just stay here? Mommy wanted you to." Her breath hitched. "What do you mean, sweetheart?" "Mommy told Daddy to marry you. She told me and Ellie too." Lisa felt a lump form in her throat. "She did." Tom nodded, his little hands reaching for hers. "So will you?" She kissed his forehead. "Get some sleep, buddy. We'll talk tomorrow." She went downstairs, finding Adam in the kitchen, staring blankly at a cup of coffee. "Adam," she began hesitantly. He turned, his tired eyes meeting hers. "The kids told you, didn't they?" She nodded. "Rachel told you too?" If you are enjoying this story, please click on the like and subscribe button. Let's continue. He let out a slow breath. "Yeah, she did. But Lisa, I never wanted to pressure you. I know you've been through so much already." She swallowed hard, steadying herself. "Adam, I need to know something. I love Ellie and Tom with all my heart, and helping you and them has felt natural, but this is different. Are you asking me to stay in their lives just as a helper, or do you see me as something more? Do you even feel anything for me? Or am I just Rachel's best friend stepping into her shoes?" Adam's gaze softened. He set down his coffee and stepped closer. "Lisa, I don't have all the answers yet, but I do know that love grows. I don't want to pressure you into anything, and I understand your fears. Of course, I find you attractive, but it's not just about that. There is no comparison with Rachel. You are both beautiful at heart, that's why you got on so well, and that's why she trusted you with her whole life. Lisa blinked back tears. But what about what people will say? They'll think I took my best friend's husband. Adam let out a small, tired chuckle. Lisa, people will always talk. If I found another woman, they would still have something to say. So why not do what makes us happy rather than worrying about their opinions? She exhaled, shaking her head. I need to think about this, Adam. It's not an easy decision to make. He reached for her hand, giving it a gentle squeeze. I respect that, Lisa. No pressure at all. Please take all the time you need. Tears welled in her eyes as she nodded. She turned and walked away, her mind swirling with emotions, knowing that the answer wasn't as simple as she had hoped. For weeks, she stayed away, searching for clarity. But her heart ached for the children, for Adam. She spoke to her parents, seeking their wisdom, and they reminded her of how Rachel had always trusted her. Lisa, you've already been like a mother to those kids, her mother said gently. Rachel knew what she was doing when she asked you. She turned to her closest friends, hoping for a different perspective, but the consensus remained the same. Lisa, you love them already, one friend said. You stepping in wouldn't be replacing Rachel, it would be fulfilling her wish. Even her older sister, always the pragmatic one, had weighed in. You know what's in your heart, Lisa. Don't make a decision out of guilt or fear of what people will say. Make it because it's right for you. Each conversation weighed on her, yet slowly, the truth became clearer. Rachel hadn't been selfish in asking Lisa to marry Adam. She had been thinking of her children, of the family that was already forming before Lisa even realized it herself. And Lisa already loved them. One day, she returned. The moment Ellie saw her, she ran into her arms. You came back. Lisa laughed through tears. Of course, I did, sweetheart. That night, after the kids went to bed, Lisa sat across from Adam. If we do this, we take it slow. I won't rush into anything. Adam nodded, eyes glistening. I wouldn't have it any other way. So they started dating. Cautiously, tenderly. It wasn't the whirlwind romance of youth, but something deeper, built on grief, healing, and companionship. They went on long walks, had deep conversations about their fears and hopes, and made sure they were moving forward for the right reasons. Adam was patient, never rushing Lisa, always reassuring her that they were building something new, not trying to replicate the past. Every year, they honored Rachel in different ways. On her birthday, they visited her favorite place by the lake and shared memories of her. On the anniversary of her passing, they would cook her favorite meal and tell Ellie and Tom stories about the mother who loved them so dearly. Rachel's presence never faded from their lives, and her family supported their union wholeheartedly, knowing Rachel had made her wishes clear. If you are enjoying this story, please click on the like and subscribe button. Let's continue. Lisa and Adam also had difficult conversations about their future. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the kids play, Adam broached the topic. Do you ever think about having more children? He asked. Lisa hesitated. I do. But I also worry. Would it feel like we're moving on too fast? Would Ellie and Tom feel like they're losing part of their mother? Adam took her hand. Rachel will always be part of this family, Lisa. But that doesn't mean we can't build something new. Ellie, who had overheard, ran up to them, her eyes full of excitement. Aunt Lisa, can I have a baby sister? I want someone to play dress up with. Lisa laughed, her heart swelling. We'll see, sweetheart. Eventually, they did welcome a child, but the journey to get there was not easy. After months of trying, Lisa and Adam faced the painful reality that conceiving was not happening as they had hoped. Doctor visits confirmed their fears. Conceiving naturally might not be possible. Determined, They explored fertility treatment, though the cost was daunting. They were placed on a waiting list, ready to begin the process, when fate intervened. Just as they were bracing for the expensive and emotionally taxing journey ahead, Lisa felt something different one morning. A test confirmed the unbelievable: she was pregnant. The emotions that followed were overwhelming: tears, joy, disbelief. Adam held Lisa tightly, whispering, "Rachel must be looking out for us." Months later, they welcomed a baby girl. As Lisa cradled their daughter, she whispered a silent thank you to Rachel for leading her to this moment. Watching Adam hold their child, his eyes filled with love, she knew one thing for certain: Rachel had been right all along. Love had found its way to them in the most unexpected, yet beautiful way. And as Ellie excitedly held her baby sister's tiny hand, she grinned. "Now I have someone to play dress up with." Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.